two people, same city, same salary. 10 years later, one owns 3 properties and sleeps without an alarm. The other is still checking their bank balance before buying groceries. The difference was never income. It was never luck. It was 11 quiet habits nobody talks about. Meet Daniel, 34 years old, marketing coordinator. Makes decent money. Not great, not terrible. He buys coffee every morning, not because he can't make it at home, but because it feels like the one thing he controls in a day that mostly controls him. Every Friday, he tells himself he'll start saving next month. Next month becomes next year. He's not irresponsible. He's not lazy. He's just running on habits he never chose. Habits that were handed to him before he was old enough to question them. This video is about those habits, and more importantly, about the ones that quietly replace them. Wealthy people don't just make different financial decisions. They think differently about money at a level most people never examine. These are the 11 silent habits that create that gap, and almost none of them involve income.
Habit 1. They have a relationship with discomfort. Most people spend money to escape discomfort. A bad day at work becomes an online purchase. A stressful morning becomes an expensive lunch. Psychologists call this emotional spending, using consumption to regulate mood. Wealthy individuals, over time, develop a tolerance for discomfort that most people never build. They sit with the tension of a delayed decision. They let the craving pass. It's not discipline in the heroic sense. It's simply a trained pause between feeling and spending. The takeaway is this: the next time an urge to spend appears, wait 24 hours. Not forever, just long enough to see if the feeling was real or just noise. Habit 2. They think in decades, not months. There's a well-known psychological concept called present bias. The brain naturally overvalues what's available right now and undervalues what's coming later. Most financial decisions are made by someone who is, in a very real sense, thinking like a child. The wealthy have restructured their mental timeline. A woman named Claire once said she thinks of every large purchase as what it costs her at 65, not at 32. That single mental shift changed how she saw her car, her apartment, and her weekend habits. Think longer, and the math changes everything. Habit 3. They are quietly obsessed with ownership. There's a subtle but powerful difference between people who pay to use things and people who pay to own things. Renters of apartments, cars, and subscriptions build nothing over time. Owners of assets, real estate, index funds, small businesses, build quietly while they sleep. Wealthy people orient their spending toward ownership wherever possible. They're not flashy about it. In fact, most of them look ordinary. The expensive things they own aren't visible at a dinner party. Habit 4. They don't discuss money at the surface level. Most people talk about prices. Wealthy people talk about value, structure, and timing. When someone asks a wealthy person, "How much did that cost?" they often look genuinely confused by the question, because that's not how they processed the decision. They asked whether it appreciated, whether it was tax efficient, whether it served a long-term purpose. Surface-level financial conversations are a sign of surface-level financial thinking. Go deeper. Habit 5.
They protect their attention like a bank account. This one surprises people. Attention is not just a productivity concept, it's a financial one. Every advertisement, every social scroll, every limited time offer email is a withdrawal from your cognitive account. Wealthy individuals are unusually protective of where their mental energy goes. They unsubscribe aggressively. They limit exposure to financial noise because they understand that distracted people make poor decisions, and poor decisions, compounded over years, are expensive. We're halfway through, and habit 8 is where most people unknowingly lose financial control. Stay with this.
Habit 6. They automate the boring decisions. Willpower is unreliable. It depletes throughout the day and collapses under stress. Wealthy people don't trust themselves to remember to save or invest. They remove the decision entirely. Automatic transfers, recurring investments, pre-scheduled bill payments. A man named Marcus once said he manages his money like a pilot manages a plane, mostly on autopilot, only stepping in when something unusual appears. The system runs, the behavior holds, the wealth accumulates. Habit 7. They understand that income is not wealth. A doctor earning $400,000 a year with no savings is not wealthy. They are highly paid and financially fragile. Wealth is not how much you earn. It is how much you keep, grow, and protect. This distinction sounds simple, but it restructures everything. The highest earners in America often have the least financial security because income enables lifestyle inflation faster than most people can track. Earning more without this understanding just means spending more. Habit 8. They have an honest relationship with their numbers. Most people don't know their actual net worth. They have a rough, uncomfortable sense of it, but they avoid the specific number because it carries emotional weight. Wealthy individuals check their numbers the way healthy people check their blood pressure. Not obsessively, not anxiously, regularly. There's no shame in the number. There's only information. And information, however uncomfortable, is the starting point of every good decision. Habit 9. They are selective about who influences them. The people around you determine what feels normal. If everyone in your social circle upgrades their car every 2 years, not upgrading feels like failure. If everyone around you quietly invests, spends moderately, and talks about financial goals honestly, those behaviors feel natural. Wealthy people, consciously or not, have built environments that reinforce financial discipline. This is not about cutting people off. It is about choosing carefully who shapes your financial normal.
Habit 10. They are comfortable being misunderstood. The accumulation of real wealth is invisible to most observers. A wealthy person driving a modest car, declining an expensive trip, or passing on a status purchase will often be judged as cheap, boring, or unambitious. They have learned not to care. The psychological freedom to let others misread them is paradoxically one of the most expensive things money eventually buys. Habit 11. They treat financial education as ongoing. Not a book they read once, not a podcast phase they went through. A continuous, quiet commitment to understanding how money actually moves in the world, through taxes, markets, human behavior, and timing. The wealthy are perpetually curious about systems they don't yet understand. That curiosity compounds the same way interest does. Here's what this is really about. Most people were never taught that money is psychological before it is mathematical.
We inherit our financial behaviors from households where money was either hidden, fought over, or never discussed at all. We grow up with invisible rules we never agreed to. The wealthy didn't necessarily start smarter. Many of them simply, at some point, stopped running on inherited programming and started building something deliberate. That moment of awareness is available to anyone, including you. The gap between where you are financially and where you want to be is rarely about income. It is almost always about habits, the quiet, daily, unremarkable ones that nobody sees, but that shape everything over time. These 11 habits don't require wealth to start. They require awareness. And awareness, unlike money, is always available right now. Wealth is built in silence, in the choices no one watches you make,